everybody. Happy Mother's Day. How are you all doing? You guys, I usually wear headphones when I'm recording or on these live streams, but I think I talk really weird when I have the headphones on. So the last few videos that I've posted, I've taken the headphones off. So I'm going to take the headphones off right now. The headphones are off. So I have no way of monitoring how I actually sound. So I'm going to rely on all of you. And I hope you can actually hear me. So please let me know that you can hear me and let me say hi to everybody. Oh, thank you, Harpers, for joining. I appreciate it. Hi, Lizzie. Happy Mother's Day. Hi, Lizzie. Happy Mother's Day. Hi, Hope Floats. Markle will post children's hands baking in the kitchen with H for their mama, or she'll create a photo of the back of their head sitting all cuddled together. Well, Hope Floats, you're pretty right on. You're pretty right on. Um, yeah, Lizzie, I agree. To everybody that's here, happy Mother's Day. I hope today is full of sunshine and flowers and just happiness for all of you. Yeah, let me see. Hi, Teaspoon and a Silver Moon. Hi, Steve. Hi, Coral Sand. Hi, Leslie and Sunflower in SFE. Hi. Okay, good. Thank you, Erin. Thank you. So it turns out that she literally just posted um her Mother's Day photo. So I'm going to prep it so that I can upload it here and we can all look at it together. Um yeah, let me get that ready. So, my brain is a lot faster than technology. So it ends up being, I'm a little bit slower than what my brain is doing. So, okay, let me airdrop those. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let's get the headphones out of the way. We are not using those. There's a sense of freedom in not using these headphones, honestly. Okay, you guys, before we get into the live, I mean, we're already in it, but I just wanted to make an announcement. And I'm I'm inspired by the Sidley twins. They are just such beautiful people and they're just so admirable and lovely and well, you all know, you all know how amazing the Sidley twins are. And one of the things that I find so admirable about them is that they are so driven to support causes. And the one that they consistently talk about are animal rescues. And they ask in their live streams and in their videos to please not send super chats and instead donate that money to a particular animal rescue. And honestly, I love that and I want to do the same. So I appreciate all of you so much. This community means so much to me. Your support, your comments, your presence. It genuinely keeps this channel going. And I'm so grateful. And I think we can make an impact. So I'm going to ask all of you, instead of sending a super chat or a super sticker, if you could please consider donating to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. They provide 24/7 confidential support for people in crisis, people who are often trying to escape really toxic and even dangerous situations. I'm going to put the link where you can donate to this organization in the description of this video. And as you can see, here is a comment with a link to where to donate. And again, I appreciate all of you so much. And you all mean the world to me. You all mean the world to me. And yeah, let me get into the comments. Hi, RV. I mean, you're saying to me, hi, RV. Steve, I've lost it. Hi, Margaret and Cryptic Charm. Thanks for being here. Hi, Samondak. Thanks for being here. I'm doing really well, only me. How are you doing? I hope you're well too. I hope you're all good. Oh, wait, I was in the middle of doing something, wasn't I? I was going to show you all the picture that Megan posted, right? That's what I was going to do. Okay. So here is the picture, everybody. There it is. And yeah, she posted this, I think, about 20 minutes ago. I don't know. I don't think I can make it any bigger, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I'm digesting it. I feel like if it was any other person and we actually knew what the kids look like, this looks so loving. And to be quite honest, I feel it would be such a better picture if they were facing us, right? With that beautiful scenery in the background. But of course, we know that there is an agenda here, right? Um, and in a minute, I'll show you what she wrote as the caption. Thank you, Alice. Isn't it? I was, I have a long commute to go to work. And I was reflecting, this has been on my mind actually for a little bit. And I've thought about what organization, what is something that relates to the things that I talk about. And I feel that donating to the National Domestic Violence Hotline is just, I think it can go a long way and help a lot of people. And I appreciate all of you for contributing to that. So thank you so much for considering it. And I appreciate and I love all of you. Melissa, yes, that's a lot of beige. That's a good point. That's a lot of beige. Yeah, lots of beige. It's a beautiful place though, isn't it? I would love to sit on that balcony or what do they call it? There's a word for it. I can't think of what it is. Cryptic Charm says it's a very cluttered image. Silvermoon says she doesn't look like a mother the way she is standing and holding them. Yeah, it looks kind of uncomfortable, doesn't it? Um, and this is a pose that they do often, but I guess they're limited in the poses they can do if all the pictures are from the back, right? There's only so many shots you can take. Um, yeah, let me also now put up the caption. So the caption reads, Happy Mother's Day. Cheers to juggling it all with joy. And to these two gems who still attempt to climb Mama Mountain, smother me with kisses, and make every day the most memorable adventure. Being your mom is the greatest privilege of my life. I don't like it. I don't like the smother me with kisses. That rubs me the wrong way. Shower me with kisses, smother me does not. Hmm, I don't know. I don't like it. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. And then the caption continues, I too love you more than all the stars and all the sky, all the raindrops and all the salt on all the french fries in all the world. I don't like that either. Because she's saying, I also love you like this, meaning the children express this to her first. She's telling us how much the children love her. I don't like it. How much more beautiful would it read if it said, I love you more than all the stars in all the sky, all the raindrops, and all the salt on all the french fries in all the world? Wouldn't that sound so much better? Instead of like this is a response to something they said. She's not the one initiating the love comment. Yeah, let me see what all of you are saying in the chat. Alice says, I don't remember Harry posting anything for British Mother's Day. Why can't they post for both? I think You're right. I don't remember that, Alice, them doing it this year, but I think they did it last, or wasn't there some reference to Diana or something on that day? I can't remember. Silver moon. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys, I want to say that all opinions are accepted here and we respect each other's opinions. And Silver Moon, I totally respect your opinion. In my opinion, I think that the children exist and that they're surrogates. They were born from surrogates. And also, I really like M's, or her channel name is TNT. I like her take on it too. She has a pretty good theory that also makes sense to me. Alice says, I mean, it's a nice picture, but everything they do, yeah, is so performative. The woman is a lunatic. Who writes words like that? Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you, Steve. I think it's going to be such a good cause, and this is not, a one-time thing. I'm going to keep doing this on all of my lives. I think it's such a great cause. And just to highlight what that cause was, so I'm asking all of you, in lieu of super chats and super stickers, please consider making a donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. I got this idea from the Sidley twins. I think they are such beautiful people. And I love, like, one of the things that they do that's so beautiful is this, um, how they contribute to causes that are important. So yeah, thank you. Um, Alice says again, it's nice, but it always seems like they're trying to prove things. You love your children and they love you. That's lovely. Keep it private. Yeah, and this comment, I just don't like this. I don't like, I mean, there's two parts of it that already I'm like, oh my gosh, red flag. This smother me with kisses. I don't like that. I mean, if my mom said to me, oh my gosh, you smother me in kisses, I would feel like I'm suffocating her. And this last part, it's it's like that what she said in the Jamie Kern Lima podcast. That man loves me so much. This is what she's saying, the same thing here. Those children love me so much. It's I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, thank you, Simone Deck. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are all so great. So I had an idea. Um, I was looking through, as I do, the articles that came out this morning, and there was one that caught my eye that was released today. So I thought we could talk about it. And then as we get into it, I'm going to ask some questions as we go along because I really want to know your opinions as well. So this article was published this morning, May 11, and it was in the Mirror, and it's titled Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Wake Up Call Sparked by Prince George Photo. Harry and Meghan announced they were stepping down as working royals in January 2020, less than 2 years after their wedding, and their decision was triggered by a photo of their nephew, according to an expert. The article begins, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's fractured relationship with the royal family now seems broken beyond repair, with the Duke claiming that his father, the King, no longer speaks to him. Issues between the Sussexes and the royals can be traced back to the time they decided to quit the royal life. And it was a sweet snapshot of Prince George that proved to be a wake up call for Harry and Meghan and cemented their decision to leave the firm, an expert has claimed. The image in question showed the late Queen with her three heirs, excuse me, the then Prince Charles, Prince William, and Prince George, who was six at the time, in the throne room at Buckingham Palace. It was released at the beginning of 2020, just days before Harry and Meghan confirmed they planned on stepping down as working royals. On the face of it, the picture simply showcased the future of the monarchy and mirrored many historic portraits, but it is alleged to have caused upset behind the scenes. And we are going to go into the psychology of this. I'm going to talk. This is so. I mean, this is malignant narcissism, and I will show you. I will show you that allegedly, and in my opinion. Um, In his book, Meghan, a Hollywood Princess, Andrew Morton wrote the royal couple suspected that the entire institution was conspiring against them as they saw it. The evidence was all around them. The unspoken code was straightforward. The future of the monarchy was assured with or without Meghan and Harry. That's how the monarchy works. You are deluded if you think it's something else. This is how do you look at something that is 100% fact and then just struggle against it? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. But we're going to get into it and we're going to talk about this paranoia here. And actually, I'm going to plant the seed for you right now. As we're going through it, I'm going to ask you to think of any examples that Megan has demonstrated paranoia. I have 3 of them ready to go, and I just want to hear what you all think, but we'll get to that. And then finally, I also want to say Andrew Morton is the same author that wrote the book, Diana in her, I forget what the title is. So, yeah, I tried reading Andrew Morton's book about Megan. Wow, it's a hard read. It's a hard read. I think I got to, like, chapter 1, maybe chapter 2, I don't know. It's rough. Okay, the article continues. Where was I? Speaking to the Mirror's podcast Pod Save the Queen, Morton further revealed that Harry and Meghan had started to think about leaving the firm far earlier than the public thought and said talks began just 6 months after the wedding. He said Harry was having conversations in a London hotel with Oprah Winfrey back in November 2018, just 6 months after they'd been married. So they were thinking about a different direction of travel pretty early on. Can you believe this? I mean, yes, we can believe it, right? Oh, gosh. Oh my goodness. Let me see what you all are saying in the chat. This is exactly it. This is another example of being envious of a child. This is exactly the same character, the same person that treated Princess Charlotte that way, allegedly. And that's why I really want to talk about this and how it relates to malignant narcissism. Yes, cryptic charm. Diana in her own words. Yes, I knew it was like Diana in her what? I couldn't remember. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Um okay, so let me see. Let's continue. Okay, so this is the photo, everybody. And you know who else isn't in this photo? Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis. They're not in the photo either. So this photo it's not personal. It's constitutional. It's it's business. It's business. Like, can you imagine you work for a company and all the executives take pictures together in a group and you get mad because you work in a different department and they didn't put you in the picture? You're in a different department. You're not an executive. Why would you be offended by something that was beyond the realm of reality? Right? Ah, my goodness, these 2, I can't. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple of things that like this brought out in me. So clearly, this photo is a historical snapshot of the line of succession. It's traditional, it's expected, and logically, it's accurate. The truth is, this photo is based on lineage, not love. It's a visual representation of the crown's past, present, and future. And like I was saying, Charlotte and Louis aren't in it either. And it's not because they're disliked, but because the focus of that photo is on direct succession. That makes Meghan and Harry's alleged offense feel even more absurd, like they wanted inclusion in a moment that was never about them to begin with. And the real question here is um, oh, oops, wrong slide. And the real Ooh, how did I get ahead so much? Okay, and the real question here, like that we should ask ourselves, why did they see themselves in a photo that wasn't about them at all? Why would they be offended by this? Why would they think that they belong in that photo? It's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous. Yes, Melissa, everything is personal to a narcissist. And that's the next point. Only a narcissistic mindset would see this as a snub. A healthy, secure person might look at that photo and say, wow, that's history. But a narcissist sees any space where they are not centered as a threat. The photo isn't about them, then it's just, then it must mean something about them. And it's not that it means just anything, it means they're rejected. This is the hallmark of malignant narcissism, assuming the world is broadcasting coded messages about you at all times. This relates back to I've mentioned a couple of times that my stepmom is a malignant narcissist. And I remember as a child, some people used to tell me, like adults that were around, they'd be like, your stepmom, she's just incredibly sensitive. If you even gently caress her the wrong way, she'll fight with you about it. And they try to make it seem like that's normal behavior. It's not. And it's exactly that. They think that everything, the world is broadcasting these coded messages about them at all time. And it's like, no, no, it isn't. And in this case, like, how could you even take this offensively? I don't get it. And this also shows that there's this confusion between legacy and ego. Harry and Meghan seem to mistake personal feelings for institutional relevance. Legacy photos aren't about who's liked, it's about who's next. Meghan's interpretation of the photo reportedly included, they're showing us we don't belong. But no one belongs in that specific photo except for the sovereign and their successors. It's literally not personal, it's structural. Yeah, this photo, yep, it rattled her cage 100%. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And ultimately, what this shows is that they wanted the status without the structure. That I think is probably the most telling part of all of this because they they stepped away from royal duties. They didn't want the obligations or the scrutiny, but they still want that symbolic centrality. It's in narcissistic logic, it's not I serve the institution, it's the institution should reflect me. That photo, not including them, is probably a mirror that's held up to them to the harsh truth. You're not the center of the story here. And ultimately, to be offended by a royal succession photo is to misunderstand the very system you left or to resent that it kept functioning without you. Yeah, and then I'm gonna get a little bit into how malignant narcissism plays into this, and, I will get to your comments in a minute. And this I want you guys also to think of examples. We're gonna take a pause here so that all of you can give me examples you can think of. So, malignant narcissists have this paranoia of being left out. And I'm going to ask you if you can think of examples that Megan has demonstrated this type of paranoia. Malignant narcissists aren't just about vanity and control. They operate through paranoia. There's this constant gnawing paranoia that someone else being seen, acknowledged, or valued means that they are being erased. It's not enough to shine. They need everyone else to be dimmed. And that's why I say that narcissists are competitors, they're not collaborators. And this is I think this is true if you've ever experienced it in your life. These are not people that function well in a team environment because they need to stand out, and that immediately makes it very difficult for them to be part of a team. And that's why Megan was just inherently her her identity was a complete mismatch for being part of the royal family where there's hierarchy. You can't be at the top. It's already decided. And the fact that there is a hierarchy means that there's someone at the top. It means that this is a pyramid, right? There's someone at the top and there's people beneath. And the goal is to serve the monarchy as a whole. And in regards to this picture, the queen with her direct heirs. It's a completely traditional and symbolic message that Harry and Meghan are taking as that they didn't matter, but that photo isn't about them. That's the part a narcissist can't process. If the moment doesn't feature them, they can't see its value, and they interpret neutrality as an attack. Let me get to your comments. I like that you said that, Melissa. Yes, Anne is the steel backbone of that family. Oh, cryptic charm. Oh, okay. Wait. I have another Wimbledon example. Okay. So, cryptic charm is mentioning when in Wimbledon, she wanted to walk in side by side with Catherine instead of being behind. Yes, she couldn't handle not being, um, at the very least, equal to Catherine, right? Oh, thank you, Dak. I appreciate that. Oh, exactly. Yes, Alice, that's a good one. When she wasn't invited to Balmoral when the queen passed away. Yes, and she even got Harry involved in that. She got Harry all emotionally messed up with that, you know? Yeah. Um, let's see. Hi, Kumari. Okay, I'm going to go into my first example. I have, how many do I have 3 of them maybe. Okay, so the first one I have is what happened between Victoria and David Beckham and Harry and Meghan. And ultimately, Meghan believed that Victoria Beckham was selling stories about the Sussexes to the press. That was the downfall of their relationship. And I think this is one example of their paranoia. Well, Meghan's paranoia, and then Meghan, loops Harry into it too. Alice says when she wouldn't walk behind Harry when they went to Saudi Arabia. Um, that was the red carpet incident. Was that Morocco? You guys let me know in the comments. You guys let me know. And then the other example I thought of was the Wimbledon 2019, where she made everybody sit away from her. She said no photos. She attends a very public setting. She's surrounded by press, celebrities, and thousands of fans. And a security guard tells a woman to stop taking selfies because Meghan is in the background. Megan is in the background. So, this is such a lack of boundaries. It's such a lack of boundaries. Um, so Megan claims she was there in a private capacity. And part of me recognizes this as paranoia, and part of it is also this grandiosity, self-importance. So the paranoia part of this is that she assumes that strangers are secretly photographing her when they're not, and she's trying to control all images of her, even in public, and it shows a mistrust of ordinary people and fear of being captured off message. And the reason why this is self importance and grandiosity is she believes she's important enough that random people would only be interested in taking photos of her and not the tennis match. Private capacity at Wimbledon. That's complete delusion. Melissa says that it was Morocco. Yes, thank you. Cryptic Charm says, I remember when she wasn't allowed to walk on a red carpet, it was for blood royals. She walked next to the carpet, but as close as possible. Yes, yes. Susan says they were given a year to reconsider leaving the royal family. King Charles paid for their security for that year. Maybe Harry will wake up one day. Yeah. Right, Alice. I need to look more into this. So Alice says when people walking through Windsor were given a list of don'ts if Harry and Meghan were there. Right. Melissa says, how about that time before her first garden party when she literally stopped Harry so she could walk through a doorway first? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Carrie, yes, thank you. When she needed a 4-car motorcade in New York, where celebrities walk the streets every day and ride the subway. Yes, 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 exactly. And it This what you said, Carrie, is a flashback to me of, that Netflix mockumentary that came out, and the very first clip, or it's really early on in the beginning, where they're looking back and they're in this private parking lot, and are they following us? And are they here? Are they still there? Were they the yeah, this paranoia. And the thing is, this paranoia that Megan inherently has is really um, is a really good way of triggering Harry because of Harry's fear of the press. So literally, she adds fuel to she creates this trauma bond with him over this. Cryptic charm, guess what? That's where I was going next because this Wimbledon incident exactly reminds me of when they were at Frogmore and they would walk through. I don't remember if it was Frogmore or when they were on Kensington grounds. I don't remember. But whatever it is, it was a public area, I think, or other people could walk that area. And she demanded that nobody talk to her and nobody even come up to the dogs, that don't even come up to her dogs when she's walking her dogs. Can you believe that? Oh my g I mean, you can, right? And so the paranoia of this is that she believes every stranger with a phone is a potential paparazzi, and she thinks that casual photo taking is a coordinated threat, but there's also this grandiosity again that we're seeing, right? Where she assumes her presence is so important, she should be immune to normal public visibility. She treats public space like a private runway and it expects the entire world to respect her imagined boundaries. Yes, yes. Melissa, that's a good one. Declining to utilize Duchess Sophie as a resource. She couldn't have anyone interfering with her victim complex. And she could have thought, Duchess Sophie may be trying to sabotage her. That's where the paranoia would come in. Like, oh, I can't have Duchess Sophie. She's going to teach me the wrong things, or she's going to find out information and take it back to the queen, or something like that. Yeah, yeah. And then let's see what I have next here. Okay, so this paranoia that she has, it's not, and this is true, I think, of malignant narcissists if you've ever met one, and 100% this is my stepmom. It isn't just fear, it's self-obsession in disguise. Malignant narcissists assume the world is constantly scheming about them, not because they're insecure, but because they're obsessed with their own centrality. The paranoia serves a function. It makes them feel important. They think that a simple glance, it becomes a threat, a family portrait is a snub, and a tradition that's been going on for centuries becomes a betrayal. Meghan and Harry allegedly interpreted this centuries old succession photo as a coded message saying, "You don't belong." But the monarchy is literally built on bloodline and order. The only people that would view that as an attack are those who think the institution should revolve around their feelings and not function. Yeah. Yeah. And then ultimately, this leads into um, Nicole says, "Is it real paranoia or is it put on so she can be the center of attention and be better than everyone else?" In my opinion, and what I experienced with my stepmom, it's real paranoia. It's, the world is really out to get me. And there is this manipulative element in it because of Harry's history. This is another way that she uses to manipulate him, but she also truly believes that the world is out to get her, that everybody is trying to, everyone's jealous of her, everyone wants what she really has. And yeah, I believe so. I believe so. Melissa says Sophie is such a gem. She weathered a lot of gross tabloid stuff, did the work quietly, and has established herself as a real asset to the crown. Thank you, Melissa. I think so too. I think so too. And all of this plays into this everyone is against us narrative. This is one of the ways she isolated Harry. In the video I posted yesterday about the Fab Four, I talk about how already in February 2018, 3 months before the their wedding, Harry and Meghan's wedding, when they're doing this panel interview, Meghan is already creating an us against them, and this is something that happens in these types of relationships. Malignant narcissists will weaponize the idea that they're under siege, and the more public their narrative becomes, the more they're rewarded for their paranoia. It invites sympathy and pity, and it positions them as the victims of the very system they once sought to dominate. So it's like them, it's when they say the institution was conspiring against us, they took a photo without us. And what we're seeing today, the king won't speak to us. So it's a cycle that you may also recognize in personal relationships that you may have had with narcissistic parents, partners, or bosses. They create a conflict and then cast themselves as the wounded party and then lash out when the world doesn't cater to their version of reality. And to tie this all together, like ultimately, like the truth is, recognition of others is not that people are trying to erase you. A secure person sees a child being honored and feels joy. A narcissist sees it and says, "Where am I in this photo?" It's it's sick. Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm going to catch up now on the chat because I feel like I talked for quite a bit there. But I just really wanted to talk about this, and usually I'm going to post this as its own standalone video. And I was thinking it would be really nice if I could basically talk through a video with all of you present and get your feedback in real time. So let's see. Alice says, I think Megan cannot physically understand why the monarchy is not a popularity contest. She thinks if you're the best liked or are the most famous, you should get the top job. Exactly. She thinks it's a competition when really it's all collaboration. Oh, I'm sorry, Shell. Yeah. Shell says, I'm in the UK and apparently I paid for a wedding that she didn't even want. I'm sorry. Alice says, exactly. You can see his paranoia too in that BBC interview. Exactly, Alice. He literally thinks that he said it, people want history to repeat itself. I'm sorry. Yeah. Princess Goose says Camilla was super unpopular, but kept her head down and managed to become accepted by many. Megan started from a place of popularity. Yes, she's responsible for the hate she receives. And I I almost want to take it a step down from hate, Princess Goose. It's really criticism. I mean, I know there are people out there that hate them, but us talking through this, we're just criticizing her. And you know what? Let's put that adorable picture back up. Here we go. Let's keep this picture in the background. Odette says Harry mostly done what he was told while in the royal family. Meg had to remove him. She wouldn't have been able to cope with not being the only one ruling him. Exactly. That's a very good point, Odette. She had to get rid of anybody else that was controlling him because she needed to control him. Yes, very, very well said, Odette. I completely agree. Yeah, you guys, sorry, that went on for a long time and it was a serious topic. I thought it was very interesting though. Um, Cryptic Charm says the reality is Harry inherited so many of both his parents' good traits and so many of the worst. He has such a victim complex and found someone who was the fuel. Yeah. The Silverman says we could make the money back if we add them to a cell and charge more for the tower tour. Oh my gosh. Shell says, I lived with a narcissist for 20 plus years. He still wouldn't accept he did anything wrong. I didn't realize until one of my kids got ill and the mental health people told me what was going on. I'm I'm sending big hugs your way, Shell. I'm wishing you a happy Mother's Day and I'm really sorry that you experienced this. And this actually um I'm going to segue into what I mentioned earlier in the video. I want to ask all of you that if you're thinking about sending a super chat or a super sticker, to please instead donate to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. They provide 24/7 confidential support for people in crisis. And yeah, I'm gonna include that link to that is in the description of this live stream. And it's also been posted a couple of times in the chat. So yeah, I think it's so difficult, and a lot of times, like you said, Shell, you don't recognize what you're in. I have to tell you, I didn't know that I was married to a narcissist until my therapist told me. Like, I told my therapist, I separated and I moved out and it's the end, and that's when she told me, he was a narcissist, right?" And it was like, "Oh my gosh, everything makes so much sense now. Everything makes so much sense." Irie Rose says if she would have married him for love, she would have done what was needed to be done for the family. That's just what you do. Exactly. And so when you love someone, you love what they love, you love their culture, you love where they came from, because where they came from is who they are today. And it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any there's literally no compromise for Megan. There was no compromise. She literally was like, "No, we're not doing that. Unless I can be the top of this hierarchy, we're not doing it." Yeah. It's tough to see. Oh, look who's here. Hi, Dollface. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys, last week on Monday, Dollface and I I'm actually gonna call you Dollface. I'm gonna call you because you're a doll. You're a doll. So Doll and I had a live stream on Monday, and oh my gosh, it was great. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. We had a good time. And we're actually planning on recording some content soon. So hopefully we can do that soon. And she's just so great to chat with her. If you could please follow her on Instagram. She's on X, and she also created a YouTube channel. So it's great. Um, Alice says Harry's paranoia is from childhood trauma. I get that, but a good spouse, yes, would help him deal with it and not let it ruin his life. Yes, and instead, what she does, she fans the flame. Last week, I did a reaction to that BBC interview, and I talked all about that. That there's only so much that we can put on Megan's doorstep. This is this is Harry's issues coming from childhood, and Megan capitalizes on it for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Carrie says, "How is her royal highness so oblivious to the failures and offensive behaviors? If she desperately wants to be adored, why is she blind to how her actions are doing the opposite? She can't take accountability or responsibility that what she does is not perfect. In her mind, everything has to be perfect. So anyone who's in disagreement with that is because they're wrong. They're the ones that are a misogynist or whatever label she can put on people. It's a I think it's called like an ad hominem attack when you can't attack the logic of it, but you try to attack the character. And that's how it is with Megan. And you can see I think it was one of her Confessions of a Female Founder podcast episodes. She said something like, it was about the American Riviera Orchard name. How even then she was trying to say it was a mistake, but she didn't actually say it was a mistake. She was saying like, I never really liked it anyways. Something along those lines. So she can't accept that she can make mistakes. Melissa says it was mainly your videos, RV, that made me think, huh, my father-in-law might be a narcissist. The realization is changed everything. I'm sorry to hear, Melissa, that you are experiencing that or have experienced that. And a lot of times people say, you don't need to put a label on it. And I get that, sometimes you don't need to label it. The behavior is all that matters. For me, though, growing up with my malignant narcissist stepmom and not recognizing what it was until 2 years ago, Putting a label on it is so validating because it's it's really not me. It wasn't me as an 8-year-old that was the problem, right? And up until about 2 years ago, I always thought, "What could I have done differently?" The truth is nothing. I was a child, just like Prince George is a child. Prince Louis is a child. Princess Charlotte is a child. Meghan's judgment and treatment of these Meghan's envy of these children is sick. It's sick. And that's what it is. It's envy, truly. Honesty and Truth says she knew exactly what she was getting into, totally on board with it. No sympathy for her. The fool H has really been taken for a ride, but he was always going to rebel. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Honesty and Truth. May says M and H will consider accepting apologies. It's like, how checked out of reality are you? It's the same thing as being jealous of this photo. You are checked out of reality. Hi, Ivy. Thanks for being here. Oh, walk the dog. That's great. I'm going to end this live stream, you guys, in about 15 minutes. I'm heading out to go visit my mom for Mother's Day, and I'm taking my little princess, little Aurora, my chihuahua, with me. So she's actually really nervous, my dog, because she sees like I've packed her bag and a couple of pee pee pads, and she's like, "What in the world is going on?" So, yeah. Melissa says, to a narcissist, everything is a mistake or a misunderstanding, so they don't have to take responsibility. Yes. Oh, Steve, very well said. That photo confirms she is the spare. Yes. Yes. Min says, I tell you what, she won't publish a photo of her and her children having a nice meal in a pizzeria or McDonald's or even a posh restaurant. Yep. Yeah, and we saw this is what she posted. Here it is. Can you imagine living in that and not being content with life? I mean, assuming this is her home, I don't know. Al fresco, that's what it's called. Dining al fresco. That's I was trying to remember it early on in the video. I couldn't remember what it was, but yes, that's what it is. I would love like this is one of my favorite things that, when the weather is nice, like to be able to sit outside and enjoy the view and oh, how wonderful would it be to sit there on that patio and dine al fresco? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Irie Rose. Thank you. I will tell her and happy Mother's Day to all of you and to all your moms. Thank you. Thank you. Silver Moon says his interview Friday surprised me because I didn't realize he is much worse than I thought. I know. I was pretty shocked by it too. I cried watching it because his perspective is literally 180 degrees from the truth. He is thinking and believing the exact opposite of the reality. The same thing with this photo. The completely, to be envious or to think that this photo is a message to say you don't belong, it's this is business. This is tradition. It's the monarch taking pictures with the future heirs. Yeah, Cryptic Charm says the thing is, Meghan never thinks that far ahead. Why would you be mean to the future queen? Why would you be mean to the future princess royal next to the king, one of the most powerful royals? Yes. The envy just clouds like everything completely. Cryptic Charm says, and George will one day be king, but Princess Charlotte will also have real power, just like Princess Anne, right? There's so much good that they all can do. And I think this is one of the reasons why watching Harry and Meghan is so upsetting because we see how much good they could have done. You guys, my AC just turned on. I don't know if it's going to interfere with the mic, so I'm going to set it off right now. Sorry, I'm just going to take a second. I'm not wearing my headphones like I said early on in the in this live stream. So I don't know how it sounds. So I hope it's not deafening. Princess Goose says, I can't imagine Megan strong enough to hold those children safely. I bet there's something fishy about the picture. I wouldn't be surprised, Princess Goose. Carrie, delusional is the word you're looking for. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Melissa says, I don't believe my mother in law is a narcissist, but I do think she's so enmeshed and codependent with my father in law that she has grown to copy his behaviors. And this is the dynamic. Okay, so here's my opinion based on what I've seen with Harry. I haven't really said it out loud publicly, but I don't think Harry is a narcissist, but I think he has narcissistic traits. I think he carries trauma from his childhood, and I think he a lot of people have said that he has arrested development, and then when you put someone like that next to a narcissist, it like exaggerates and inflames these behaviors. So in my opinion, that's what I think we're seeing. We're seeing him behave like a narcissist, but I personally I don't believe he is, but that's my opinion, and we respect everyone's opinion here. So if you believe he's a narcissist, I completely respect that. Sir Squirrelot says, I love your name, by the way. Hey, RV, hope you enjoy a wonderful Mother's Day with your mom and putt. Thank you. You've been really hitting it out of the park with your content. Love the post about the fan foreshadowing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do a lot of research when I've been making these videos. I want to make some that's more lighthearted too. So I'm trying to do a good mix of them. And yeah, I hope you guys liked it. Uh, Steve says handbag. Licked his lips 150 times during the recent interview. What's that about? Huh, what's a symptom of dry mouth? Or what can cause that as a symptom? I think I would look into that. Um, yeah, I don't know. Oh, thank you, Steve. Can't hear the AC. Jen says, I thought that they were on the rocks, that he'd finally woken up, but they were smooching last night, and that's it for me. He must be as bad as she is. I don't know if you all saw the Sibley Twins video yesterday, but I kind of allegedly, there may have been something that was causing artificial happiness in him. I think, I don't know. Um, because 99% of the time he doesn't look happy to be there, right? So that that was just one snapshot in I don't know, a 6-hour interval in my opinion. So I don't think I don't know. I hope that he sees what's what's been going on. Odette says, "I love that H&M represents an average quality brand." Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you, Abe Vertasso. Thank you, and happy Mother's Day to you and your loved ones, and happy Mother's Day to everyone here and their loved ones. Yeah, Dawn says, Scott, sorry if I pronounced his last name wrong. Rouse's body language video about the interview was great. Highly recommend. Thank you, Dawn. I feel free to drop that in the chat, a link to it, or maybe after this live stream is posted, feel free to leave a comment. So if people want to go watch it, they can. And I can go watch it too. So thank you, Dawn. Sir Squirrelot says, Fab4, do you think Harry is headed for an imminent meltdown, breakdown? He doesn't seem right. I would not be surprised. I think he might even be in the middle of one right now. His behavior is very odd. He does not look like a happy man by any means. Um, and imagine, some people pointed this out and they're absolutely right. Imagine Megan going on a podcast and saying this is the happiest she's ever been, and Harry's practically in tears on the BBC video interview. There's a disconnect there. Yeah. Hudson says, I don't believe they were at the concert. I hadn't heard of that. And Cryptic Charm says, and don't get me started on Harry's treatment of women. In his own words, in his own book, at the school he was at who he first slept with. He abused his privilege and bragged about it. Yeah. Yeah. It was quite disgusting. Yeah, I agree. Okay, you guys, I'm going to end the live stream here. I want to thank you all so much for being here. And here is the link again if you wanted to donate to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. I'm going to do this for every live stream. I think we just have such a loving and genuine and giving community. We can make a really big difference in the world. Um, yeah, and yeah, I appreciate all of you so, 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 so much. Happy Mother's Day to you, to your mothers, to your sisters, to everyone in your family that had a mothering role in your life. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.